order. Town of Fontana Dam Town Council meeting 5:36 call to order. We got Lacey, Brandon, Zell, myself. We got Luis here, prospective town member. We got Carrie here, and Mr. Kevin Hensley. Welcome everybody. 5:36. All right, agenda. I think I took a look at this a little earlier. Didn't see any issues. If we don't see any issues or changes, entertaining motions there.
I propose a motion to approve the agenda.
Thank you, Lacey. All right. All right. March minutes. Didn't see anything amiss there either, so unless there's any adjustment changes, entertaining motions there. Thanks for that, Brandon. Motion as read. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Lacey. All right, Brandon with the motion. All right, public. We've got Luis. Your last name?
Hirado.
Hilado?
Yes. Something like
Yep, Hilado. And we've got Carrie here. Are we kind of on the record now with?
Well, we will be after we come out of closed session.
Okay. And we got Kevin. Anything you want to comment about there, Kevin?
I'm good. I caught all the good stuff I need to catch before the meeting, so yeah. I'm good to go.
The front page newspaper.
Yes, exactly right. Yep.
Welcome to Grand County.
All right. Financials in. So.
Okay, general fund, we have $172,098.45. And in our utility fund, we have $105,384.19 for a total of $277,482.64. We have I'm taking a bunch of checks in tomorrow to deposit, but the biggest part, the $55,000 just passing through, you know, going on Portland utility, but.
Okay. Is that going to be the final payment?
No, there's another payment that they submitted the other day, so.
How much is that one for?
I don't know, I didn't open it, I got it, it's an email that she sent, so I haven't looked at it yet. We can before you get gone though, if you want, just so you have an idea.
You can send it to me. We'll just get it taken care of tomorrow.
Okay.
Let's just do it.
Get her done.
Get her done.
Okay. There's nothing else on financials. We'll move to the utility report.
Okay, so, you guys last time at the last meeting, you approved up to $1,000 for a camera and to examine the wastewater lines. And Troy's come up since then, and I was asking him about that, and he was of the opinion that if we need somebody to come up and examine the lines, he has a camera and is willing to do that.
Right.
That it was more important for us to revisit this jetter system. And even if we don't do it for a whole month, if we did it for like 2 weeks, and that he could come up during that time to help motivate Dennis and be there and bring his camera up, you know. But we also got to coordinate with the time when the village is slow as well, because we don't want to potentially do something that could cause, you know, during Mini Coopers or something like that, you know, so.
I think she said there was 2 weeks after Mini Cooper where we don't really have a lot of groups.
Right.
And then once it gets to like the 17th, I think she said, it's just on.
Is it?
Yeah, she said there was like 2 weddings in 1 weekend.
Yeah, I know we have a bunch of stuff coming up, but I don't know how far that keeps going. I don't know. It might be something that we might want to visit in the fall, late fall or something. I don't, you know, and if we can get through this summer season. I'm real hesitant about doing anything when I know we've got a lot of stuff going on.
Sure.
Because if it's not broken, you know,
we
don't
don't
fix
cause
it.
a problem,
Yeah.
and that's always a concern.
But I think though that he is correct, and that we need to look at the jetter rental over any of the other equipment, because he has cameras and he has a smoker, he has all that stuff that we need. He doesn't have a jetter equipment. And Lee English, you know, we paid out big money for him. So
refresh my memory on that month rental.
Well, right now the month was like
6,500.
6,500, yeah.
And that
But
includes the mobilization. They're going to bring.
yeah, they'll bring it in and pick it up, a trailer to move it with, and
So my thinking on that is, and it kind of makes sense, do we need to spend, what was it, about 600 or something on that camera?
Well, it's close to 1,000.
If Troy can sort of facilitate that side of it, then, and we've already got some areas identified that need to be jetted, I think.
Yeah, we have a lot of areas that we know.
Once we can identify a time frame that works good for everybody, you know, with scheduling and with the resort and with Dennis and just with the utility side in general. And one question on that jetter, are we gonna need, is that gonna be a two-man deal?
Probably.
Are we gonna need to borrow one of the maintenance?
Well,
folks?
Troy will be here too.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if Troy's here, he could potentially assist us with
Yeah,
that.
with that, yeah. Yeah,
But
he's-
maybe not all the time.
no, he won't be here for 2 weeks or whatever.
Right. So we may
So,
have
yeah,
to get
we-
Dennis started with some of the stuff we know, depending on where our scheduling is.
Yeah, and I have to reconfirm that. I don't know if it takes 2 people or not, but if, ideally, you don't really want to be doing a job like that. We're going down into manholes and stuff and, you know, without having somebody else around.
And it's on a trailer, right?
Uh-huh, yeah,
Okay.
it's mobile. So it'll have to also have a truck that can
So that's
haul
gonna
it.
tie in with our truck conversation.
Yeah, but we've already got a hauling, a tow thing on the other truck, so.
Yeah. We have to coordinate with, you know, with the trash removal. And
Right.
Anyway, we'll talk about that soon.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be a scheduling thing. It makes sense though, to go ahead and, we'll see what we can do as far as scheduling that jetter. Now, the question will come up, do we get it for the whole month? Do we do it for a couple of weeks? I mean, I don't know, you know. It would be nice to kind of have an idea of just how much jetting we're gonna have to do, and I'm assuming it's gonna have to be a good bit.
I would think so. I mean, for a weekly rental, it's $1,500 plus what it costs for them to 1,000. If you know, 500 to bring it in, 500 to pick it up.
Right.
So with Lee coming up one day, we spent several times that we spent $700, $800, $900. You know, one time, a couple of $1,000 having him up here.
Just for a day.
Yeah, just for a day. And in that process, Dennis and Jason actually did most of the work on that one that we spent $2,000 on. So, you know, if we're spending that kind of money to get him here, it would almost make more sense because we could have it for a couple of weeks and actually get in there and do some work.
Yeah, and I guess the question would be, what would a 2 or 3 week rental price versus a month rental price? A month's probably gonna give you a good bang for the buck.
Yeah.
Give us a month window to hopefully bang out most of the problems that we can either know about or we can identify.
Right.
So I think that's gonna be a scheduling
And
question.
then it also boils down to how much time Dennis can, you know, can actually work on strictly that as well. So, you know, it's all going to be a scheduling thing, but I think it's something we can pull together. It's just, like I said, it might be late fall, you know, maybe, I don't know. We might be able to get it done sooner than that, but I don't know.
Is there a hole like there normally is in that, like early June? You know, typically when the kids get out of school, there's a lull. Are we filling those weekends with?
I don't know about that, but August is another good possibility because I know August was
It dips.
usually pretty
Yeah.
low.
Second week,
Yeah.
and usually it dips till you
To
get.
be honest, come the first week of August.
I don't 100%
I think that
remember.
is.
Yeah, that's because they used to come at the last week in July,
Then it
yeah.
bumped.
and then Greg bumped them to the first week, so.
So maybe we can take a look at what we got scheduling wise in our utility department. We can also look at, you know, maybe some windows when things are gonna be less, you know, 2 to 3 week window, even a month would be nice, but, you know, I think it'd be nice to do it sooner rather than later, because the sooner we can move on with this, the sooner we can maybe move to some other pressing issues. You know, the water side would be really nice to get to. It'd be nice to kind of put the wastewater sort of, you know, we'd have everything generally sort of mapped out, laid out. We just got our new permit.
Well, I sent off for it. We haven't got it.
They haven't approved it.
That doesn't come up for renewal until October, but you got to send it in. It's got to be in there like 6 months before.
Gotcha.
You know, and I'm not quite sure, you know, what they're going to do when they get it. Like if there's going to be somebody sent up here to inspect. You know, it was a lot more involved this year than it's ever been before. And there again, Troy did that for us. So. you
So
know. But
just-
he went over a bunch of stuff.
Just to come around on that, do we anticipate doing anything with the jetter truck before the middle of May when our next meeting is? I guess that would be, do we think
I would
that's?
think not.
Okay,
I
so
would
we don't
think not.
necessarily have to take action on that.
No, we don't have to. I mean, or we could go ahead and take action, and I can start, I mean, at least to
Trying
the
to
point,
line it
yeah, trying to get everything lined up. You know, and then by the next meeting, I can have you more of a firm price or something, maybe.
Do you
Then we
wanna do that, and then in the meantime, I'll get like the best occupancy time frame?
Okay.
Does that work?
Yeah. I mean, that's why I say I would expect we're gonna not have very many dips until we get past Memorial Day, I think is typically, and then there might be a little lull between there and 4th at some point. Usually.
There usually is in June.
Yeah, although I think they've been doing better. Like last year, I think it was better. It was, instead of dipping to 40%, I think it would dip to like maybe 60% last year. So, yeah, I'm cool with that. I mean, we can start looking ahead. We can start mapping out our utility schedule, and we can start, you can start looking at that, and y'all can communicate, and we can kind of go from there. I think are we in agreement that that's kind of we won't spend any money on a camera system, but we'll probably spend our money on the jetter truck. I think in the village, that's pretty much where we're looking at doing is.
Yeah, because all of that down 28 now is done. All of that's completed until the bridge work starts.
We need to identify some areas that aren't flowing like they should, and
Most of that's gonna be around the
areas-
grill.
and areas that are going to need repair and lots of.
Yeah.
That's kind of the other side of it is if we identify something that needs repair, we're going to hopefully be able to get somebody to come in here. I don't know, if we can submit that. With TVA, I know they've got some money earmarked, but I don't know what it'll.
I don't know either,
I
but
think it'll all depend on that RFP and if somebody does take over, I think that'll kind of dictate that direction of.
But if there isn't an adequate request for proposal that TVA approves of,
Then it would still be Baker's.
Yeah.
And they have a lot more resources as far as stuff goes with that stuff.
yeah, I
It's
think,
kind of temporary hold till they evaluate what's going on there, and then we'll kind of proceed from there. Is that kind of where we're at there? Okay. And when is that, when are they likely to have a
I think it was May 1st, wasn't
I
it?
think it is May 1st, yeah.
I think they had until May 1st to submit.
So we should have an idea shortly thereafter, I would
Is
imagine.
it like 2 weeks? They usually go over things for like 2
Yeah,
weeks.
I think so. And as far as I mean, I don't know anybody outside of Robin well, that one guy called me he said you gave me my name.
Yeah.
Thanks.
He came down and started asking questions. He wanted to know about the town and the stuff. I said, this lady will tell you everything you need to know.
And that's exactly what he said you said.
If she can't tell you that, ain't nobody can tell you.
No,
I
we
know
talked for a
there's
very
still
long
be
time.
a budget, even after somebody comes in here, there will still be a budget in place that TVA will then have to approve to do, the upgrades.
Yes.
Stuff in the infrastructure.
Yeah,
An allowance, yeah.
Yeah,
The hope
but it
is we
has to be
can,
approved by TVA, so they can't just, the new
Right.
person can't just willy-nilly.
yeah, they need to get an approval.
Yeah.
All right.
The hope is I would really love to get this wastewater system at least pretty well hammered down, and then, because if we could ever get to the water side and we could tackle our losses, that can really help our budgeting tremendously. I mean, it would potentially allow us to become more independent
Right.
and become more of a whole. But if we could get our losses even in the 20% range, that would be just.
I'd be tickled to death at 50 right now.
We'd have a giant party for that.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
So
so.
one other thing before we go,
Okay.
even though it's not with waste, well, it kind of is, but we got our generator for the intermediate tank.
Yeah.
So it is here,
So
yay.
that's ours?
It's ours, yep.
What was the,
It's sitting over on the parking lot by where the cafeteria was at right now, but
And it's
Uh,
27,000. Now, do I run a check to you and you're gonna
I
pay
think,
for it,
yeah,
or
yeah.
will we just pay for it?
no, I think it's gotta go through the town,
Do you need that exact number, or do you have it?
I don't have it, no.
I got it today.
You can just forward me the email or whatever if you need to. Yeah, So
Is it on a trailer?
it is on
It
a
is on
trailer,
a
so it's
trailer.
mobile, and we can use it, it can connect to several different sources, power sources, so.
And is it similar to the one that's over there?
It's smaller than the one that was there, it's
But is
definitely
it-
smaller,
is
but
it
it
enough
is,
to push it?
yes, it's enough to push it. But I think we got a month's like, what do you call it, we can use it for like a month, risk-free, you
3
know?
months. We got 3 months warranty on it.
Oh, 3 months warranty,
Yes.
okay.
So I know, I'm all up on the generator information. I know that Mitchell mentioned he wanted us to practice using it multiple times to make sure when we got in that situation
Yeah.
that we would be able to just go right to it. So I
Yeah,
think they showed Jeff how to do it, but I don't know who else.
we need to hook it up and have it running for a
Yes.
while, definitely.
I don't know who else you maybe want to learn how to do that.
Well,
It
I
would be
mean,
on the utility side.
I would think Dennis probably would be a good person to teach how to do that too.
Okay.
You know, we need a couple of people.
And it's,
Maybe even you, Rob. Maybe you should learn how
Yeah, I
to
mean,
hook
you
it
know,
up
the more
too.
folks that know how to do
Yeah.
it, I mean, it's, I don't doubt the process is too complicated, but there might be a couple of tricks to it.
Yeah, I mean, just so that there is that other person. I don't want to learn how to do
yeah, I'm
it.
not learning that.
I'm not learning that one, so.
That's cool. So
But anyway, though,
when
it's
are we
just,
gonna swap in, swap out?
well, they've taken the other one. The one that was down there was down
The one
in the
they
parking
rented,
lot.
I
It wasn't
think.
ever hooked up though. And we never even used it. It never even got fired up at all. It just, cause by the time they got it here, power came was back on, so. So now they're both sitting down there in the parking lot, but, the guy will be coming back after the bigger one there, but
It
that baby will
was
be staying with us.
That's cool.
$27,172.65. And if I understand correctly, they're gonna put that as infrastructure. It'll go with into TDA, so
Yeah, it's 27 what?
172.65.
Did they happen to say how many hours? I'm assuming it's a used one, right?
Yeah, but it didn't have very many hours on it. We looked at several used ones that this guy sent us, and this one was the less of the hours on it, so.
And this was a former rental as well with the same company, or?
Not with the same company, no, I think, even though he worked with the guy that had this big one, I think they found it through someplace else though, so,
I think
that's-
Mitchell was like, did some big
Yeah.
work on that.
yeah, he did.
That's a
And,
pretty good price. I didn't
yeah,
expect
it's a
we
real
would
good
get one
price, yeah,
That low.
yeah.
We was looking at like 40,000.
40,
and
yeah.
then switched it.
So this is 27, that's quite a bit, a better deal.
Yeah, sweet. All right, that's good news. All
No
right.
more going without water. We might be without power, but we'll never be without water now, as long as that
Is
works.
it gas or diesel?
I
Yeah.
don't know that.
Really decent.
I think it's
Imagine it's
diesel,
diesel.
yeah.
When it started getting into those terms, my mind just
What
left.
size is it?
Heavy
Blades
cuts off.
over.
Yeah,
Do you remember the size, like the
It's-
wattage or kilowattage?
I
Well,
can look, I don't know.
I think it's, I have it if you can't find it. No, I think it was, I want to say, bigger now. I want to say it's like 14.
Okay.
I may be wrong.
All right.
They know all the maintenance stuff on it, how to keep the diesel from gelling, and all that stuff, because diesel will turn into sludge if it's in.
Yeah, I know, that's why the ones down at the water plant, the wastewater plant, they automatically kick on every few, how often,
Once a
Gary, does
week.
it come on?
Once a week.
Is it once a week?
It says it's got 7,129 hours on it. It's a 2013. I don't know what some of these mean, so I don't know what these specifically say.
Probably say like something KW.
Or KV?
Okay, yeah.
It says generator 125-149 kVA. It's got a serial number on it.
I know.
That could be the range. Anyway,
Def on it.
hopefully they, you know, if they spec it proper, we should be good to go.
Well, we talked to several people, and of course, he kept referring back to me, and I'm like, Mitchell. Okay. Okay, that sounds great.
He did keep referring back to you.
really just has to push that big pump, right? There's nothing, I don't think there was anything else.
Yeah, I don't see anything where it says that information.
I know I have it.
Well, that's cool. I mean, certainly we gotta run a test on it and make sure everything works good. If it doesn't, then like you said, we've got a bit of a grace period, right? I mean, we can hopefully swap it out if we find out in theory it works. In practice, we don't know.
Run for 24 hours. plug
He
in,
said that,
it works.
that he had asked him to make it a turnkey generator, so that with all the leads and the other equipment that would be needed to make it fully operational and include a small warranty.
Where's
so,
this plug in at?
um,
Where's it going?
on
At the
the- plug it
intermediate
to
in the curves there,
Yeah.
where that, so mainly what it does is it allows us to, we push water up from the water plant up to that intermediate tank. And then from there, we have to have a generator to run that pump and push it.
on up to the village tank.
And really, it's, you're almost overflowing the village. You push it into the village and then it sort of backflows up into the tank. It's kind of how it's a whole. It's kind
Yeah,
of,
it fills everything up, then it backs back out.
so
It
it's,
comes through the same lines as it goes in. Instead of, like most tanks, you go in, it comes out another line. This one don't do that.
yeah, it's
See, the last quote was right at 50,000, so
yeah.
this is almost half of what.
Half of what we were thinking.
And this one was a 12 volt. So that was the one that was, I imagine this is probably about the same.
Well, that's good news.
I mean,
We'll
it's
certainly have
definitely
to-
big enough.
We'll certainly have to figure out a way to make sure nobody drives off with it either. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll have to-
Yeah, it's on a trailer, just waiting. Yeah, and it's gonna be secured, for sure.
You'll have to add that to your rounds.
Or just, eyes when you're going back
Just
and
hold on
forth.
with
Yeah.
Yeah,
So garbage truck, called a couple folks about trucks. Looks like Ford is not taking any more fleet, government type orders right now. I think they're backed up and they got supply problems, so it'll be September. I tried calling Chevy, the Capital Ford or Capital Chevy in Raleigh, and the guy's out of town, but supposedly he is checking his email, so I sent him an email. They did have a truck that could work. It's a Chevy 1500. It looked to me like, it said it was a 140-inch wheelbase, which for a regular cab, that should be an 8-foot bed. So it had all the specs we wanted. They had a four-wheel drive version. I think it's like a little, it's like a small 6-cylinder, I think turbo 6 or something. So, and it's manual, like an 8-speed manual. It was around 24 grand. Fingers crossed they'll have one. I'm not really betting on it though. So I think what we really need to do is we need to look at getting this truck, take it to the dealership, get it checked out. From what Zell said, they've been saying it was overheating. They thought it was a thermostat, they replaced it. I think it still was overheating.
mhm.
It's been eating coolant, which is not good. So, but I think we need to probably, I think Harold's looked at the truck, but we haven't really had it to the Ford dealership to check it out, thoroughly. So I think the plan now is, if you guys are in agreement, we figure out a way one way or the other. If we can drive it, that's great. I may have to borrow a car hauler, or we may have a trailer here we could borrow from the resort. I don't know, that we could load the thing on and haul it over to Bryson and let them have a look, see, and tell us if it's, fixable for a reasonable amount of money, or if it's, something.
I mean, even if we spend $5,000 on it, it's cheaper than buying another truck.
I think
But it's worn. I mean, it doesn't have a lot of miles on it, but it has a lot of idle hours on it. And needs another emergency brake. For some reason, we go through them a lot with that. I guess because it's manual, but
Because the only other option would be to buy a used truck, and from what I saw, I looked around and I did find a couple, but they're probably going to be slightly used in the 30 to 35 range. So we save a lot of money going through the state plan. I mean, it looks like those prices were probably $5,000 to $7,000 below like retail prices out there. So they were really good deals, but the problem right now, I think supplies are just they're just crimping everything, crimping the whole line. So my thought is, I mean, what do you guys think? Does it make sense to at least get this truck checked out and figure out if it's a go, no go on it, and we go from there? Okay.
Right.
Yeah. We'll, I
So
guess
we could, do
we'll
we
keep
wanna
everybody-
do that another action item, so we wanna do it, do we need to do an action item?
I
or
don't
do we-
think we do. I mean, it's a repair on a truck.
Yeah, all right.
It's, I think you just,
So,
I
we
mean,
just,
we gotta assess it, and, you know, there might be some action if we gotta spend $3 or $4 grand on it,
right,
you know, but if it's, you know, gonna be something fairly normal, I think we'd be fine
Right.
with. If it's a thermostat, if it's something else, cooling system without having to pull the heads or something like that.
all right.
I would think them to do the total bill though, I would, if you get, if it needs a parking brake, I'd get that
Yeah.
added on there too. and then-
Yeah, do us an estimate
Yeah,
of
for
what we need to
everything.
get it good to go.
Yeah.
Definitely. Just getting it over there is gonna be a trick now, because I
How
don't know
long
that
can you drive it until it,
I don't
Just
know.
pull the thermostat out of it
Well, it had,
and then drive it over there. Is it the thermostat messing up? Or?
well, I don't know, because they put a new one in, and it's still overheating. Antifreeze is going somewhere. Dennis says it's not in the gas, or the oil rather, it's not mixing in that, but it is deteriorating somewhere, you know, so, I don't know if it's,
What happens when they just leave the thermostat out of it?
I don't know what happens, I mean,
Probably drive it over there that way.
will it not overheat that way though?
But they ain't got nothing stopping it. New ones, they'll hang up too sometimes.
I don't know.
That's the thing. It's the might part I'm a little,
Well, if it don't overheat when the thermostat ain't in it, just take it over there. If it does, get you a call on it.
yeah. And I've got access to one of those, and I think, don't we have, we got some equipment trailers, right, around here that we should be able to put the truck on and haul it over there?
I think we do, I think we just, either it's coming or we just got a new trailer.
Okay.
I'm not 100%
We got
sure.
a new trailer because I used it.
Okay, so then we've got a new trailer.
Get that truck.
Yeah, I mean, I like Harold, you know, he's been great to us, he has been, but I think that this, in this case, we need to take it to a dealership.
Sometimes he runs up on something
Yeah.
that he can't resolve easily.
And I mean, he's getting,
He didn't want to deal
he's,
with my truck whenever I had issue
Yeah.
with it, and, because it was gonna take a lot of labor, and he just
Yeah.
didn't want to devote that much labor to it.
right. So, all right, well, that's what we'll do, then
We'll
we'll
just
try
move
to,
forward on trying to
yeah, get it hauled to, or
Get it-
taken over to
get an
Bryson,
estimate of what it's gonna take, what the problem is.
and then we'll revisit it.
Okay.
So, the storage building, I sent James with TVA, or like asking him, do we have to have approval? Yes, we need TVA approval, since it's gonna be on TVA property. I need to send him my project scope and plans, and he will get it coordinated within TVA. A 26A application and an environmental review would also be required.
You should already
And I was
have a
like-
NEPA review here. And
What?
they wanna know if there's anything in land, but that's already been done for the whole area. So that should be in there already in their stuff, and the 26A to fill it out isn't real bad.
I just said it seems like a lot of work for a small storage building.
I can help you with that 26A, they're pretty easy, I do them. It
Okay,
shouldn't be that hard, and then it's NEPA and the other stuff that they wanna know if you're putting it on a piece of TVA land, it already has to be checked out. But should already have that in their files, cause all this area's been done.
right. Well, the main thing is it needs to be measured, so I have an idea of what size we're
Did you
getting.
explain to him that it's essentially
If it's
a
temporary. it
temporary
shouldn't be
building
all
that is going on existing parking lot?
I told him, I said, it just seems like a lot of work for a small storage building.
And and we're not even putting it on virgin ground, we're
Use
putting
the
it
word
on a parking lot.
Temporary, and see if that changes a lot of that.
Alright,
Yeah, I mean, it's something that can be disassembled and removed if necessary.
Yeah, I know that's different.
yeah, it doesn't have a flooring in it, that's why we gotta put it on,
Yeah,
on a pavement, because we want it level, you know, to be able to get that
Yes.
plowing now.
it's in an existing parking lot, so there's really,
I know in the water, it's $1,500 to do an expansion on the 26A, I don't know about on the land. But that TVA owns it, they're running it part of this, it's not like we're an outside people doing it, so I
Right.
don't know where that falls in, Mitchell will know that.
And then again, like we said, we can take it down and
use the word temporary,
I will.
so it changes it.
We still need to get measurements, but I guess I'll see first what all he's gonna end up requiring from us.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, a
just
picture
give
and
them
some
the biggest
measurements.
measurement you got, and if you buy something smaller, it shouldn't matter.
Yeah, I know, but I haven't measured it at all back there. I don't know, how
Well,
much
it-
space we got.
I don't exactly know what'll fit either. And we'll have to get that bucket truck out of there one way or another.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to have access, and then if she puts people back there,
Well, my thought was if we put it off on that left side, against,
I know what
the
you're
edge of
talking
that,
about, yeah.
I don't think it affects parking really at all. I mean, it
It's
takes
not
up a,
park up here. Like, I mean, it's not like it's a far walk. back
People?
there.
oh
they
yeah,
don't
and a lot of
park
times
over there.
people did park here too. In fact, that's part of my reasoning for getting some of this stuff out of the parking lot here and kind of in the back. It's out of sight and it kind of beautifies this a bit, and then it also opens this parking up a little bit more.
I don't think that it would be a problem if you just said the employees who are staying here just have to park over there.
Some of them can park in the back. There's still half a dozen parking spots back there that, and we're not gonna be obstructing them. You'll be able to pull in and back out. It's gonna be in that, kind of that left corner in the back, at the far end of sort of that accounting branch that used to be there. It's kind of up against the edge of the woods there before the bank goes up.
Right.
So, see if temporary structure changes his thought process. If not,
I can help
We
you
can-
do that 26A, it's pretty easy.
Okay.
we could all three get together one day and we could, get some measurements. We could get, we'll develop a plan if needs be. If it needs pictures, where it's gonna
Right.
go,
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
you need pictures, you need a bird eye view, the drawing, then you need to know how tall it is, all that stuff, and then where it's going. And if it's sitting on concrete on the property already, then
I think it'd be a rubber stamp.
it's pretty quick and easy. It's like 10 minutes to do that 26A, because you're not doing anything crazy.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Any other questions on storage building or trucks or wastewater plant? All right. Otherwise, we'll move to John's resignation from the board. Is he leaving?
Yeah, it's a short and sweet too.
Jumping out of helicopters.
I, Jonathan Hodgson, do hereby resign from the town council for the town of Fontana Dam, North Carolina. Sincerely. So there you go. Out of here.
Thank
He
you.
did say in the email, like when he sent it, that he appreciated the opportunity to be here, and that it meant a lot to be able to be on the town council, and so
Yeah. It's a good experience for him.
yeah.
All right.
So-
Do we want to go ahead and do that action item?
Sure.
All right. Entertaining motions to accept John's resignation.
I entertain a motion to accept John's resignation from the board.
Thank you for the motion, Lacey. All in favor? All right. Motion carries. Let's see, so action on the jetter, I guess, well, we don't really have any other action.
I'm just gonna put continued on it.
Yeah, continue. All right, and I guess, we've been looking around for somebody essentially to replace, John, and, Luis's name came up, and I think forget who mentioned it to you. We had somebody mention it to you, and you thought, was it you that mentioned it to him? Yeah, and so you sounded interested. You were going to be in the area a while and whatnot. And, do you have any questions for us as far as what would be involved, or?
No, I guess we'll learn.
Sure.
This is new for me. I've never done it, but we'll see.
Okay.
It's not hard. It doesn't take a whole lot. I
As
mean,
long as Lacey makes the motions, we say aye.
I know that
Usually Tiffany makes the motions.
Yeah, Tiffany's it took her a little while to get into the swing of things, but now she's not too shy about making motions.
She's the motion queen when she's here, yeah,
Come on.
for sure.
the pay is $150 a month. You would, by the time the next election rolled around, you would have to be registered here in the town of Fontana Dam if you wanted to run again. But that gives you some time.
It's a good experience typically,
Yeah.
once a month, you know.
We have to do an ethics class. Everybody's got to do this. And there, yeah, you too.
You didn't mention that when I hired you.
You really didn't.
Well, that's because it was before,
See how this works.
yeah, it was before the election.
Same class.
It's just, you can watch it, we can watch it online, and then you have to get your certificate at the end of it. So,
Yeah, it's just it's almost like an hour and a half,
Yeah, 2 hours.
sort of.
yeah.
You just watch it on a computer, or you just let it run and you listen to. I mean, a lot of obvious stuff. I mean, you know, if there's a conflict of interest, you shouldn't be involved in the decision-making process. Essentially,
If it has anything to do with you making money, you should not partake of it, you know, that kind of stuff.
yeah, you shouldn't have a
Very good.
say in whether or not you proceed with the action.
Yeah. I mean, the main thing is remembering that you're representing a group of people that
All the
live
stuff
here.
that politicians don't.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But say they will, you know. That's kind of where we're at, yeah.
So if you think yes, answer no. I can do it.
Originally, we went to a conference. I think the first time, you know, when I saw it, and it's basically the same class year after year
Yeah.
after year.
But you have to take it every year, or every election, after every election.
I guess they want to remind you again and again, and not to mention, they assume there's a fair amount of turnover. They probably don't assume that you've got the same people in it for, you know, 4 or
I'm
5
all up for
cycles.
conferences as long as they're in a while.
Yeah.
You're all up for what?
Well, I mean,
Conferences as long as they're in
even a
while.
conference in Asheville is still a lot of fun. You know,
Yeah,
that
we
was
had a
what
great
did.
time,
Yeah.
until the fire alarm went off.
Yeah, we went and had dinner a couple nights. So,
Yeah,
but I guess we brought Luis in just to kind of see. This is generally what we're going to be doing once a month. We're addressing different aspects of town administration. Different issues come up, whether it be on the garbage side with the truck or with different things.
Well-
You'd start having some input on some things, and
Cranking generators when the power goes out.
yeah, stuff like that.
yeah.
Some fun.
Yeah. So, I guess how do we want to? Do we want to let Luis think about it? Do we want to have
Ask him.
conversation? I mean, what's your thoughts? Do you want to?
Do you need any time to talk it over with Amber? Do you,
No, I mean, I think it's a good experience.
Okay.
so you'll be willing to step in at the next meeting?
Sure.
All right, so then,
Never give them time to think.
so then, we need an action item.
We're going to do it at the next meeting at the beginning. Either way, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You're going to have to get some paperwork from him if we do it this go round, right?
Well, that'll give me time to get all that in the system, for when he gets paid, so,
Okay. Sure.
so,
All right.
We
How do you guys feel about bringing Luis on? Is,
I'm okay with it.
you good?
Yep.
I mean, I've interacted with Luis some. He can handle different problems on the fly. You know, as public safety. You know, he's dealing with a lot of different things, and I think from what I understand, he's done a good job. So I think he'd be an asset to have on board. So entertaining motions then.
Are you ready? Come on.
I'll make a motion
To put
to
Luis.
put Louise on the council.
There you go. On favor?
Aye.
There you go.
all right, so Luis, I need you to bring me, a voided check stub, and then, so it's a direct deposit into your account. And I'll have, I need a copy of your driver's license and social security card. All right? And then I'll have like an I-9 form for you to fill out and stuff, so.
And if you want, you can just give it to Amber and she can email it over. We'll scan it over.
Yeah, just
So that'll
whatever.
save you time, so you can just give it to her and we'll scan it to Zelle.
But you still will have to come down here and fill out, or you can do it at the next meeting, whichever. Our meetings are always the third Wednesday of every month at 5:30 here.
Well, that was another, I guess, question. Are you cool with that, with the hours at the marina, or do you think we need to?
That's just the foundation thing we need to.
Yeah, I told him that.
So
maybe-
5:30 is cool for you with, once a month?
great way to get away.
Gotta go.
Gotta go.
Got stuff to do.
Alright,
All right, have we got anything else to discuss, or any other actions before we go into closed session? Otherwise, entertaining motions to go into closed session to discuss personnel.
I propose a motion to go into closed session to discuss personnel.
I'll make a motion to come out of closed session. All in favor?
Aye.
Brandon's gonna make a motion, all right.
Yeah, good job, Brandon.
Brandon, take a motion.
Aye.
I'll be the new motion maker, I ain't scared.
So it looks like we're gonna have an action item
Another
coming out of
action
closed
item.
session here. Gonna entertain motions to appoint Carrie Stewart, our new ORC water plant operator here at Fontana Dam.
I propose a motion to, just appoint Carrie Stewart for our new ORC at Fontana Dam for our water plant.
Right.
Yep.
Fonfit? Aye. Boom. Welcome,
it's
Carrie.
done, welcome, we're so glad you're here.
Yes, very excited. It's a new day here in Fontana. We're looking forward to big
Do
things.
the eyes.
Yeah, no. No, you
All right,
have to-
But fighting.
any other questions, discussion points? Otherwise, welcome to Luis,
Welcome.
welcome to Carrie, welcome to the family. We look forward to working with both of y'all.
We can propose a motion.
The new guy brings beer at the first meeting.
All right, and I guess with that, we're going to adjourn. We're going to adjourn 6:47.